Hi, I'm Katie and this is how to install and set up the WooCommerce Password Protected Categories plugin. I'm going to show you how to do this on just a basic WordPress site. All I've done here is set up a new WordPress site with one of the default themes, and I've installed WooCommerce and imported some dummy products. So that lets me show you how to create your own WooCommerce store with password protected categories on it. You can do this on your own website with whichever theme you're using. The main thing is start off with WooCommerce already installed, and then you can follow along what I'm doing. So I've set the shop as my home page just to show you how it works. You can structure your website however you like. So I'm going to go into the admin for my site. And now I'm going to install WooCommerce Password Protected Categories. You need to have previously bought this from the barn2.co.uk website, and then you're all ready to install it. So go to Plugins and Add New, and we want to upload the plugin. When you bought WooCommerce Password Protected Categories, you would have been able to download the files from the confirmation page and also from the email that you would have received. So download the zip file and then click Upload Plugin. And you want to find the zip file which you downloaded after you bought the plugin and click Open and Install Now. So I've installed the plugin successfully, and then I want to activate it. Okay, so that's done. And the next thing we want to do is to add our license key, which will make the plugin work. So we go to WooCommerce Settings and then go to the Products section. The WooCommerce Password Protected Categories plugin has added this new page within there, Password Protected Categories. So click on that and you'll see the box to add your license key. Again, your license key would have been on the order confirmation page when you bought the plugin, and also in the email that you received after you bought it. So for now, we'll just leave the default settings as they are, enter the license key and click Save Changes. And you can see here it says license key successfully activated. If it says there's an error here, then before you move any further, you need to look at our troubleshooting pages on the Barn2 Media website. There's various reasons why you might get an activation error. So have a look through the reasons and contact us if you can't get your license key active. If it says successfully activated, you can carry on setting up your password protected categories. The next thing we're going to do is create a protected category. So to do that, we're going to go into Products and Categories. I've already got some categories, but I'm going to create a new one. So let's call it Wholesale, because a lot of people use this plugin to create a trade or wholesale area. I mean, there's lots of different reasons why you might want to protect a category, but that's a popular one. So I'll do that here. We'll call it Wholesale. And this is all standard WooCommerce stuff, but what's different is this visibility section. This is what is added by the WooCommerce Password Protected Categories plugin, and it lets you mark a category as password protected or private. Now, I'll just talk you through both of these so you can think about what's most appropriate for you. A password protected category gives you a password that people have to enter in order to view products within a category. We'll see this in action in a minute. So that's useful if you want to give out your password to lots of people. Although you can create multiple passwords for a category, so you could even password protect a category and give the password a different password to each of your users. That works too. And that allows you to revoke a password by removing it, say if there's a particular user that you don't want to have access to that category anymore. But the key thing about password protected categories is that they are separate from WordPress user logins. You don't have to have each of your customers as a user in the users section in WordPress. It's just a password protected category. They enter that password. They don't have to log into your website. It's just for that category and any subcategories within that section, as we'll talk about in a minute. Now, a private category is linked to WordPress users. By default, a private category will be available to logged in administrators and store managers, which is a WooCommerce user role. If you use a plugin like User Role Editor, then you can modify which user roles have access to private categories. So if you wanted to say you're logged in subscribers, or you might have a user role called wholesale or something, if you then mark categories as private, then simply by logging into your website, the users on the relevant level will have access to those. So they wouldn't then have to add a separate password for each category as they would with a password protected one. So two options. The most popular usage is password protected categories. So that's what I'm going to show you in this tutorial. And so I'm going to add a password, and I'm going to add another password, let me in. Obviously, I suggest you use secure passwords and not these. These are just for examples. And then all you do is click Add New Product Category. And I'm going to add a subcategory. So you can see that we've got the new category here on the right, wholesale. And I'm going to write, let's say, jewellery within that. So this is going to be a subcategory. So I want to select wholesale as the parent. And the interesting bit is I'm not going to password protect this category. I'm going to leave it as public and click Add New Product Category. The reason I'm going to do that is because the WooCommerce Password Protected Category plugin will automatically password protect any child categories of a password protected category. So even though that's set to public, it is actually password protected with the same passwords as the wholesale category. And that allows you to create more complex structures within the private area of your WooCommerce store. And once the user has entered the correct password to unlock the wholesale category, the jewellery category, or any product within either category, then that entire area will be unlocked for them. So it's a lot less clumsy than, say, protecting individual products or something like that, when they'd have to just constantly enter the password for everything they wanted to view. It's all groups, so once they've entered the password for any of that, they can access it all, which is brilliant. Next, we're going to look at how that appears on the website. So I'm going to go to the website, and here you can see that by default, the password protected category and its subcategory are listed on the website. So in product categories, widget, for example. And if we added products to them, then they would also appear within the main shop. You may want that, but a lot of people who use this plugin do not want that. If they've put a product within a protected category, they want it to be completely hidden from the public area of their shop. So I'll show you how to do that now. So we'll go back to the WordPress admin. First, I'm going to add a few products to my my password protected categories. So let's just put a few products in there. So I'm going to remove them from the public ones and put them within the private category. I mean, either of these, it'll be the same. So maybe just put a few in each and just have a play. So I'll take them out of the public part of the shop and add them to the password protected area. And by the way, if you accidentally have a product in a public and a private part of the site, then it will be password protected. That's for security reasons. We've intentionally coded it like that so that you need to have them set in separate parts of the site. That's to prevent any confusion and keep everything secure. So if you do want to sell the same product within the public and password protected areas of the site, you will need to add it twice and maintain it as a separate product because of those security reasons that are built into the plugin. So we've added 3 products to the wholesale category or its subcategory. And so now we're going to go back into the settings page. So you might remember it's WooCommerce, settings, products, and then password protected categories. So this is where we entered our license key a minute ago. So you can see in the category visibility section that by default, these 2 boxes are ticked. Show protected categories and products in public facing store and show protected categories and products in navigation menus. I haven't shown you the navigation menu yet, so I might do that quickly. So let's go to Appearance Menus. I'll open that in a new tab so we can quickly get back to the settings. And what this means is if you say we want product categories, don't we? If you can't see product categories in your menus section in Appearance Menus, you might want to use Screen Options to check that box is ticked. Right, so now we've got product categories here. We can open it up and I'm going to add my wholesale and my jewellery category to the navigation menu. And I'll just indent the category there to show you that it's a child category of wholesale. And then we're going to save the page and I'll show you how that looks by default. So we have not changed any settings yet. So as we saw, the category is appearing here in the product categories widget, and also the protected products will be on the main shop page. And you can also see that the protected category and its subcategory are appearing in the menu, even though I haven't entered the correct password to unlock the category yet. If that's not what you want, go back to the settings page. So that's WooCommerce, settings, products, password protected categories, and untick one or both of these boxes. So we've done that and we're going to save the page, and then I'm going to go back to the website and refresh my page to see what's different. So you see that the wholesale category and the jewellery category have now disappeared from the menu. They have also disappeared from the widget, and any products within those categories will now no longer appear within the products widget or on the main shop page. That opens the door to creating a completely private area of your WooCommerce store, and you can give the link to your protected category pages to anybody you want, but they will not appear in the public store. If you did want to add a trade login link to the menu or something, then you can do that if you want, but it wouldn't happen automatically using the method I just showed you. Let's add a link to it now, just so that you know how to do that if you want to. So we're going to go back to Appearance Menus. I'll do it in a new tab so we can easily get back to the settings page. And I'm going to add a custom link to my protected categories. To do that, I need to know the URL, the address of my protected category, because I have to do it as a custom link. So to do that, we're going to go to Products Categories. I'll open that in a new tab, and we need to find our protected category and get the URL. So I'm going to hover over View, and I'm going to right click it and copy the link address. So just to recap, so we're on the product categories page, product categories, and if you right click on View, or just click to view it, you want to copy the URL of that page, and that gives you the URL of your protected category. That means that we can now add it as a custom link to the navigation menu. So we're going to go in to the URL, we've got custom links, and we're going to paste it here. So this is the URL of my protected category, and I'm going to call it Trade Login and add to menu. So I've already got it here, but as we just saw, by unticking the box in the settings, by adding a product category to the menu, it no longer appears. So you may or may not want that. But regardless of your settings, if you add a link to a protected category as a custom link, then it will appear in your menu. And a lot of people do that because it just lets you have a single link and let people get in that way. So I'm going to refresh the page. So you can see the wholesale category is still not appearing, but I have added a trade login link. So let's click on that now. This is the password entry page. Exactly how it looks will depend on your theme, but the settings page does have some options that let you amend this a bit. So I'll go through those now. Go back to the settings page for the plugin. That was WooCommerce, settings, products, password protected categories, and let's scroll down a bit. Now, if you wanted, you could prefix the names of the protected categories with protected or private, depending on whether it's password protected or private. I'll just do that now to show you what this box does. Most people find that looks a bit messy, but some people want it, so it is an option. So here you can see how it looks. So we're just going to refresh the page, and it hasn't shown it. I think that's because we're not displaying it anywhere. So I'm just going to display it in the navigation menu and save it again, and we'll refresh the page there. So if you're displaying the name of the category somewhere, whether it's in a widget or your menu, then it will prefix it with protected : and it would say private : if it was a private category. I don't really like that, but some people find it useful. So let's untick that so it won't show in the menu. We don't want to prefix it either, so we're back to how we were. Now, this is the text that appears by default above the password entry form. So that text there appears here. So therefore you can rewrite it however you want. So enter password below, whatever you want. And you can also change the enter, so that's enter on the button, to whatever. So I'm going to write submit and put it in capitals. And the form display box, keep it as standard, see how it looks. And if you have problems, try switching it to alternate. If some themes don't display it properly, so that's a good option of trying to get your password entry page to look right before you contact us for support. But most themes, it will work fine with standard. So we save the changes and refresh our page just to see the changes. So that has changed and that has changed. So that's everything on the settings page. And next, finally, I'm going to show you how to log into your protected category. So you might remember that we added 2 passwords for the category password and let me in. So I'm going to type password and then I'm going to click submit. And now I can see the 3 products which a minute ago I put within the wholesale category. And that's it. I've shown you how to install WooCommerce password protected categories and how to set it up, including how to go through all the settings. You can use that to create a private or password protected area of your WooCommerce store. You can have as many password protected categories as you like. You can either have one, as I've done, one parent category, password protected, and then add lots of subcategories and they will all have the same password. Or if you wanted, you could have other top level protected categories with separate passwords. So I could have, say, a different category for each customer. Maybe I'm a photographer and whenever I do a photo shoot, I create a category for that customer to buy the photos from that photo shoot. In that case, I wouldn't put them as subcategories because I'd want each customer to have a different category with different products and a different password. I would create lots of top level protected categories and give the relevant link and the password to each customer. So if you think creatively, there's lots of things you can do with WooCommerce password protected categories. It's a simple plugin to set up, but it's very powerful if you think about it and structure your website correctly. I hope that's useful to you and you enjoy using the plugin. You can buy it on our website at barn2.co.uk. Thanks.